Hello and welcome to Angel Messages with Elena. I am Reverend Dr. Elena Rosalind Michelle, and I am presenting on the second week, the full week of March, from March 11th to St. Patrick's Day of March 17. So thank you. I am recording. So let's just get right into the message, because we were told the beginning of last week when I started doing the weeklies that this week is going to be full of emotion. So you're being called to use your emotion this week. And it's definitely intuitive guided. So Divine Mother, Divine Intuition is on our right side. And this is to listen to your emotional compass of when and how to proceed and ask for signs. So this has a potential of the month of August. And then we also have daylight savings time when you're jumping ahead. And lucky for you guys, I think you guys will finally be up to speed with me, because I tend to be ahead of time. So how cool is that? Arizona doesn't move. So let's see how that goes for you guys. All right. So week 2. March 11th is Mountain Monday, and it's about Leadership Day. We combine the chakras with the throat, and also resolution. So the that is coming into play. And I don't even know where that come from, because it's supposed to be like one chakra to deal with today. But so Monday is going to be about a time to really focusing on the rising for the solutions, the sun, and dealing with our root patterns. So yeah, and it's really super intense. So be prepared. So our first card is the number 13 card. And this is a beautiful angel. And this angel is called Letting Go. So yes, the month of March, we're going to be going through a lot of letting go process. It's about releasing the past that may seem challenging, but it can also be very liberating, and it will give you a lot of freedom. Your angels are here to help you, so you can fly higher than ever before. So you're going to be soaring like eagles. And how cool is that? Endings should herald, they will always herald new beginnings. Now, herald means, because everyone doesn't realize that herald means that there is a message of a leader who's coming and wielding their power. So they're coming into the power and they're using it. And it's also an army. So it's going to be very intense. And you're supposed to allow this situation to lead you into a more joyful life. Change your life by changing your thoughts. And so this is your reputation and past actions. This is ancestral lines. Things that have been twisted and been used against you will no longer be used against you. So today, think about everything that is coming to the table that is may have the potential of throwing it back in your face. Because what the angels want me to tell you is to say, that was in the past. This will affect me no more. And then go and cleanse if you need to. Because reputations are being restored. Yeah, how cool is that? So we are in the process of, I can't even speak. In the process of changing our thought patterns and how our patterns of society has told us things, and we're getting to the truth of it. I have a lot of sapphires on my bracelet and my necklace. Lots of sapphires. So lots of truth is coming to the surface. So we also have the 43 card, which is the energy card of man holding a coin. So this is a gentleman who's coming in. It could be a physical person. It could be somebody who can help you with your industry and your creative process. This is also about getting to help you further your goals. It's about receiving increased healing, money, or value in your life right now. It's greater success is on the way. So once you let go of these past patterns, then you open up for so much more abundance and freedom into your life. So I think that is really cool. There's also could be a love interest, and it could be a wealthy person, or it could be somebody who's going to be helping you with your abundance, your business in some way. This has the energy of March. So we're using the months for the meanings and some of the dates that we celebrate in March. So March is about, we are in incubation, that we are going through a process of cleaning and a birthing into April, the opening. We also are, this is the action to move forward. So the things that are from the past, we're going to get momentum to get through this month. It's about hibernating and then into awakening, into life. And and we got Mercury retrograde, and that causes a lot of problems with communication. That's why I won't do a reading unless I do an MP3, because people have a tendency of misinterpreting things, especially during the month of March. So a scenario that was coming to me was when Jesus was in trial and he didn't say anything. Well, 2 reasons. Truth does not need to be defended. And secondly, it was the Mercury retrograde. So no matter what he said, it would have been twisted to use against him. So if you're in truth, it does not need to be defended. If you feel like you need to stand up for yourself, different, but do it in love. Because it's really important how we project it out there. Tuesday is Faith Day, it's Miracle Day, it's a power of the 222s. So this is wisdom in action. And wisdom is calling us into the love chakra, the miracle chakra, the DNA regeneration chakra. So once we get past the let go, and this is, family and connections, then the miracle chakra comes into play. And the number 9 spiritual teacher comes in. And doesn't that look like Santa Claus? I know a lot of people think Christmas is all about commercialization, and they're taking away the meaning of Christmas. But you know what? This is really coming into play right now, because Santa is a person who has been made pure. Santa, you've gone through hard trials, and you go and you still have incredible faith. Have you ever been told that you are a saint? Because the saint comes into play on March 17th as well. So this is March 12th on the Tuesday that you're asking, has everybody been calling you a saint? So I had this once for a whole year. Somebody called me a saint, or, oh, you must be a saint. So that is divine telling you that you have sainthood and to walk in that. St. Patrick, he was a self-appointed saint. So no church gave it to him. It was given by God. Nicholas means victorious, the conqueror of all people. And then guess what? Claus means the people's victory. So we have the 2 2s just in the Santa Claus of the spiritual teacher that is coming into play. It is someone who is pure and holy, and has gotten sainthood from God, and that is the victorious and conqueror for the people. 2 2s. So how incredible is that? So the spiritual teacher is, there's a lot of great rewards spending time alone and using those moments of solitude to focus on love and ways in which you might give to those around you. So we're always thinking about how to lift others up and their own suffering to bring about the best good, because this will help others and it will help the world. So shine your light as an example for others to follow. Seek out a spiritual mentor of your own if your life feels unfulfilled right now. So if it's not being fulfilled, then you know what you got to do. So get some alone time, get some rest time, and meditate. And focus on the love. Share your light, seek a mentor. I mean, this is really great. Tuesday is like a lot of trust and belief day too. So the energies that are going to be coming out is in support of this is the World card. And the World card is about reflection. It's about emotions. It's very healing because there is a lot of blue in it. So it's transformation, it's miracles. Is that with this alone time, you're going to be like a magician. You're going to, beautiful and wonderful things are coming. It's about the student-teacher, teacher-student cycle. So it goes into the mentor if you need to find a mentor. Then we have anxiety. So some of you are going to feel panicked and have a high stress level for anxiety, and to know that how to prepare for that is shrinking back from being around people, because it's really important to know how to communicate with others so that we're not blowing up. This is an end of the cycle, and also this was reminding me of because there was a boat in the World card that you're going on a journey, and it's kind of like how Hades was paid to take you through the journey of hell. But I really believe that our hell is karma, and that it depends on get you out of there. Yeah, because I really believe that a hell on earth is more than you going into a pit and you can't get out. Because I went through different parts of a hell, and that was the gateways, and it was all the things that I had to go through in thought process. They say unconsciousness, but I think it was unleashing the spirit within me. So to know that is spiritual, and it's about thought and how you approach it. And it can be done. So this is the blossoming of abundance. So once you get through all of this, that the meditation is going to open up some more. You're going to get so much more healing and a lot more. The abundance is like blooming. It's blossoming. It's growing. It's being fertilized. You're being blessed. So it's really beautiful. And it's about, again, helping others who are suffering and helping them lift out. So so the Santa Claus has the same type of an ember, a fire, of the 10. And the 10 is a very powerful number. It's about a leader, number 1, and then a completion in a cycle that goes into another cycle. So it's a continual process. So the things that you're going to do on Tuesday, March 12th, is going to get you out of that cycle and into a new beginning, and to say that we're not going to have to go through this again. So the month that has been brought to our attention is President's Day in February. It's about Leadership Day. It's honoring leaders that made a difference. It's also about love and romance, and how divine wants to dwell within us and spark our love chakra, because it's just like this I can't make up. It's so beautiful. So it all of this is spiking something that's your heart's desire, that God's DNA is being regenerated in you, that you're getting healing and cleansing. So this is really powerful for this month of awakening. Then we go into Unity Day on March 13th. And here we got the 1333. So because you add all the numbers together, 2019, it comes down to 3. And then there's another 3 components in there. But it's also out of the box experience because of the 14 is in there. So this is also about the rainbow and bridging the gap between God and us, and the divine masculine to divine feminine. So all of this is coming down, and this is where you get the cross. So how cool is that? Because it's not just the east and the west. It's divine into our brains, into our bodies, and divine to dwell within us into heart. So today is about the ray, the solar plexus. The solar plexus is where healing happens. It's where you get empowerment. It's where you need to feel, but so many people are so stuck up into the body shuts down. So gets a lot of liver and colon cancers and IBS and all this disruption because of the distrust that we have with divine. Because we have been a society that says you can do it yourself and you don't need nobody else, right? But we do need divine. And this is a very empowering, is about the rising, right? The ray is rising. It's the ray of the sunlight. So it's illumination. We have the Six of Emotion card that comes to the table. And this is about people from the past may return today. So it's a good experience. I actually had one already. And it's a gal who I did a name, turned the name into numbers, and I could tell her everything about the meaning of the names, her nicknames, the birth date, her year, her time, and I could tell her a whole life story. I could tell her the dates that affected her and everything, just in looking at the numbers and how it's combined. And I did that in 2013. So here it is, almost 6 years later, and she sent me a text message. So we're getting together this week. So at least by phone call. So those kind of connections, these are not the ones that are going to be in your face and it's like you have to deal with it. But if they do, tell them talk to hands. You cannot rub. You cannot use that no more. I have let go of that. That does not bother me no more. So this is about memories that can fill your heart with many emotions. And it's important to remember your past accurately and without seeing it as better or worse than anyone else's. We're not into comparing no more. People you used to know may return in your life unexpectedly. And children could be an important issue, or you may to reconnect to your inner child. So it's asking you to kind of have fun, and that this is a really cool, it could be like a classmate that you haven't had connection with. It could be somebody, a coworker. It could be just about anybody. It could be like a soulmate coming in. So yeah. This is all these things are part of the dreams that are coming to you. Anyways, that's what Angel said. So we'll see about that. All right, so the Thinking Man is our action and energy card. So this is a gentleman who is coming into your life that is full of wisdom, that is loving and caring, that is very thoughtful, that is going to take a relationship to the next level. Some it could be any of the past teachers. I always like to talk about Jesus because I thought he was a great man of wisdom, and Solomon, and then also the women. So because we're putting in the unity of both the masculine and the feminine, so the male energy is really coming up, and the male energy is also about logic, is about solutions, because Monday resolute it came to the table. So all of these things is coming to help bridge this gap. He's looking into a crystal, and this it's kind of like looking like an angelic crystal, and it's transparent. So things, like my stones, they're becoming more transparent. The more truth, the veil is thinning, so you can start seeing things, so that truth is being exposed. And I think that's really cool. And so this is the presence of a teacher that's coming in, that's arriving soon. It's a specific journey and direction that you're asked to take. This is definitely a physical person that is returning. Then we have the man holding a heart. I love this card as well, because these cards are like back to back, 45, 46. So it's, how often do we get any kind of cards that just go dun 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 dun? It tells you the story. So again, is the masculine energy. This is a masculine that comes to support family and home and love, supports your emotions, gives you validation that it's okay to be upset, but there's always ways to say it, ways to let it out. So those are the things that we're calling to really work on. And it's finding the balance of family and love. So it's, the logical and the planning side, so that you're spending time with your family, and you're spending time learning to self-love, learning to self-confidence, plus dealing with your romantic partner or your spouse. Let's see if there's anything else. The intention for personal projects, family, or home issues or concerns. So that's in what this masculine energy is being drawn into. And we have the month of July that is assigned to it. So we have July 4th, which is Freedom Day. We have, I think it's July 21st, which is Flag Day. And so it's about independence, it's about flags, but not necessarily red flags. White flags is surrendering into belief. And if you're into control, it's about letting go of the control, because the divine feminine intuition comes in, and it's about receptive and receiving. So you have to have that balance today, but to know the masculinity is going to be kind of powerful. Yeah, so be careful of any men who kind of charge into your life, because last week when I said that there was like a very feminine energy source, and it was just like somebody just like right in my face. So it could be a man, and just know how to handle yourself and don't fight back, and do it in love. You could do it. I did it. You could do it. Okay, so March 14th, here we go, the 1-4, and I love the 1-4 because it really reminds me of the generation of the 14th in Matthew chapter 1. This is thirst quenching water blessing day, and I also call it living water, because this is the water that is finally gonna get you satisfied after so many times of being barren and dryness, that now we're getting sustenance, that things are actually making sense, that all of the let goes and the truths coming out is finally just like, yeah, now this makes sense, because in our spirit we know. So all of these things are bringing us into the miracle day again too. So it's about your heart, and it's about DNA regeneration. It's about miracles. I really like that. MI stands for miracles. And we got actually several cards for this day, angel cards. So this one is the 9 of Action. It's about bringing protection over your home and relationships. You worked hard to create the things you cherish in your life, such as your relationships and accomplishments, your hearth and home. So rest assured that these treasures are treasures, and that you are being constantly protected by your angels. So now it's time to start returning that to earth and to her animals and to the environment. So now we're being called to do more for our environment. So if you never ever recycled, maybe it's time to recycle. If it's time to do something with the newspapers, you know what? You can make new paper out of newspapers. Yeah, you just shred it up, put it in one of those things that this is so funny because I can't even think of it. You put it in one of those little mixers. There you go. The blenders there. You cut it up and add water and shred it. And then there's a little screen that you can make, and you make your own papers. Yeah, that's how they made parchment paper. You can start doing that again. All right. And so then we have another beautiful card, which is positive recognition. So this is recognizing you for all of your efforts, and congratulations. Yay. The angels are like, this is awesome. You are doing so good, and look at you. So how cool is that? That they're giving you the recognitions that your plans are working out perfectly. The timing is perfect. This is about success, that you are assured for success if you're still working on a project. So how cool is that? And then we have the successful completion card. So it's like, even if it didn't get done, it's still successful. And if it is, well, congratulations. How beautiful is that? So take your pride and take joy into this beautiful completion. So bask in your happiness. Be blessed in your spiritual insights today. There's a new journey that's about to embark. And then we have the patience. So today is about being completely balanced right? Completely. So, and timing worked perfectly today. So don't worry about having to push anything today, because it's going to work out, and it's going to work out beautifully because the card said so, right? The angels, they don't lie. So now we have the first card, the Nine of Action, had the June month assigned to it, and that is about the goddess of Juno. She was the goddess of the weddings and matrimonies, the couple's hearth and home. So I wanted to say that first. Hearth reminds me of heart, and an H at the end, which has an 8 quality and an abundance of quality. This is a typical day for unity and for matrimonies, for Flag Day, weddings, Father's Day. All these things are all part of June. And then the positive recognition and successful completion all come in March. The let go process, the hibernation, looking back and seeing what we need to do, and looking forward but staying in the present. So when you're completely balanced like that, that's how all these beautiful things come out into this birthing process while it's still in March. So you can have many different birthing processes during the month of March to lead you into this big, explosive, wonderful gift that's coming. So we know there's a gift coming because that's what it was in our last week's. If you haven't gotten yet, it's still probably on the way. Okay, March 15th is about the cleansing and the purification, that you went through the forgiveness process, that you've been cleaned, that you're moving forward. And we had to deal with that at the beginning of this week on Monday. So now on Friday, you're called to leap forward and start action. So now then we're back into family and family connections in our throat chakra. So this is about healer of action. It's open hearts. And do whatever you want. I mean, things are just like coming at you and you're like doing all this stuff. You got great energy going on. It's just many things are coming, to do them all at once and to trust that you can make a difference, right? You are making the difference. Even though you think, oh, I don't know. Keep a notebook of different things that is happening. I've been telling people to do that because my notebooks, seems like there's some very random stuff, but then I come in and it's like, oh wait, this was for March, or wait, this was for this year for learning this and that. So do that, because then you'll start seeing how divine is working in your life, because divine does work in everybody's life if they don't know it or not. It's also an indication in who is loving and intelligent, passionate, fun that is coming into your life right now. And that it's also letting you know that you can handle all kinds of difficult things, right? You become conqueror warrior. So no more living in survival. Conquering warrior. That's what we want. All right. So then we have the energy is the attachment card. So some of you may be going, oh, yeah, but I want this. You're not celebrating into what you're doing. And so you're looking forward into what's the next project. And you need to take time to enjoy what's happening right now. Be in the present and get into that moment. Come on, we got to get into that moment. And then when you detach from that, that's when more beautiful things come to the surface. And then this is all in, it comes about the detachment to the outcomes and how you want it, because you know what, the outcomes are not even what you perceive. They're going to be better and grander. So don't limit yourself in your dreams and don't attach them, because I have been like, I've seen visions and stuff, and it's just like it comes out so much better than I could even possibly even think or thought of. So how amazing is that? And then this is the month of June comes back into play into this day of Friday, March 15th. So this is, again, about weddings and unities and the goddess of hearth of home. It's about the flags that are being flown on June 21st. Not the red flags, but maybe other different flags. So in the Psalms, it says, the banner over me is love. That's a flag. And when I was doing something I just happened to look up because it's like banner over me is love. I looked up and there was a pink flag. Pink and corals, or to me, is heart chakra. And it's just like, oh, wow. So yeah, look for, on this day, look for some flags. And on the previous days that had June in it, look for some flags because those are beautiful. They're not all red. They're not all for caution. They're all to let you know that angels and divine are with you and you're doing a great job. Now we're coming into Saturday, March 16th. And Saturday is divine feminine. It's sat. This is when Rebecca sat on the idols. And why she sat on them is because she was protecting a bloodline. A lot of people don't understand that. They're like, oh, idol worship. Well, no, they don't want anything in a graven image to link the family together. So yeah, I didn't know that either. So when I found that out, I'm just like, well, no wonder they don't want the idol worship, because Divine Mother comes and she represents every single goddess that has ever been out there. I didn't know that either. So it's like, there's some truths coming out of, these readings that it was just like, wow. Yeah, I didn't know that either. So that is about Rebecca. So Saturday is also about Saturn. It is about transcendence of time and space. And when something is not working, just take a step back and say, I'm too far forward. I need to wait for time to catch up, because a lot of us are working too far forward and when things are not working. So yeah, because we're smart, intelligent people, that we kind of, we get ahead of time. So today is about 2 chakras. It's about the third eye, the soul, and the U into the root. Now, every Saturday, you're going to find that is always going to be about the root. Every Saturday is the sat, it's the last, right? Or it's the first and the beginning. So, yeah, that is what I've been finding out and doing the chakras into how God wanted me to do these. And yeah, so your root chakra should stir up joy within you, release fear and release guilt. No more is anyone going to use anything against you. Amen. So here's the 5 of action that is going to be happening on Saturday. It's about your angels wants you to know that your current challenge pushes you to be assertive and self-confident. You are in a teaching phase today. So yeah, and you're going to be teaching others. And these things are that you're willing to stand up for yourself. You're willing to defend for your position, but not to do it in such a way that is too masculine. There's a grace about it, like Queen Esther, how she presented herself. She got pretty, she had a feast, she got on the good side of the king, and then she presented her case, because there was a protocol that if she didn't follow, she could have been killed. But because he loved her, he allowed these things to happen and found favor within her, and then he helped save her people, so Israel. So you want to be able to perceive and defend yourself without being too blunt or too, there's times where you got to, but just try to do it with love and grace and tap into a little bit of beauty. You don't want to have, this card is also about, you don't have to take somebody else's karma. So if somebody's going through a karma and they're not willing to work with themselves, that you have every right to walk away. That nobody has the right to push their karma on you. And yeah, and the only person that can really go in there is somebody who knows how to use the beautiful oils and the beautiful cleansing process, because you have to cleanse yourself each and every day so you don't get sucked into their negativity, because that negativity will eat you up. And then this is what come up with the deceit card. So Saturday you're going to be dealing with a lot of deceit, March 16th, and this reminded me of Satan. And then it's just like, okay, now let's go back to what Satan means. And it means adversary, but there was a couple of how the word was put together in Hebrew. And it comes into 3 passages: Numbers 5, 12 through 29, Proverbs 7, verse 25, Proverbs 4, verse 15. And they were about women who were adulterous. They were called satans. So the N would be plural. So it's like, okay, there's manipulative women. And then I remembers Antichrist. But then it was like, it sounds like ant. So it's just like, oh, Jesus had an aunt. And that led me into Elizabeth. And Elizabeth is a celebratory praise. And so it's just like, I had to find out, well, why would that be? Because everything in the Bible from Jesus says one thing, but if you decipher the meanings of the names, it seems like it's against it. But there's also women who is against the divine goddess. So there's going to be like many people, many women who all of a sudden are going to say, I'm Goddess Mary. I'm Mary Magdalene. But there's only one who will have documentation to back it up, who will have the DNA to go with it, who can identify all of her ancestors. How cool is that? Okay, so that's the things we need to look into. And so the word in Sata in Hebrew is two, it's like, and then one has a little dot over the shin, and it makes it shin. And it's pronounced sh. So when you put the 3 letters together, it's hush. Like hush. Hush. So it's like they were not supposed to say anything. Okay, so there's a reason why, because they knew how we were going to be perceived of Mary Magdalene. And so now everything that is like deceptive is called Satan. Because I even was told that I was Satan by my own mother. And so now I have the understanding why. And then also this comes from a word that means acacia. And the acacia tree was also what was built in this beautiful Ark of the Covenant. It was acacia, but it was also that had thorns, and it was the acacia tree that put the horns or the thorns into the head of Jesus. And it was the burning bush that was the bush that they got the ram when Abraham had was told to sacrifice Isaac. So all these things are coming together so that you have the understanding of what Satan is. Satan means adversary, and it's anyone that is not holding the truth and is against the true woman, the goddess of God who's rising. It has nothing to do with man right now. So I think it's really cool. And then it has like an infinity part of it. So this also goes into the month of May. So once you understand what these challenges are, that we can get through them, we know who our adversaries are, that, you know, it was just women. And now we're asking the women to, you know, change and let go of their past so it can't be used against them, to rise up and empower and be the women that God has called them to be. And this is blooming. This is encouraging. This is like Maya, the goddess who comes in, and we used to ask, Mother, may I? That's from the goddess. There's so many terms that we're using today that is all back to the ancient goddesses. And so the mother, she says, well, you haven't asked me to do that. You would ask